everyone, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate Prowler only. Last time we took on Red Helm Arzuros G5, and this time we'll be taking on Crystalbeard Uragon G5. A couple of updates. Number one, we have reached HR 100 and actually 7 at this point doing our deviant quests. You can actually get quite a few HR levels from doing quite a few deviant quests. When you reach HR 100, we're going to talk to the quest tender here. He has something to tell us. Welcome back. The Academy has been in contact. New extra special permit quests are available for you to take. Steel yourself, for there will be no second chances. I wish you good fortune, Hunter. Okay, so what that means, and we'll look at Red Helm first, is that we have unlocked Red Helm EX and by proxy also Uragon or Crystalbeard EX, because I've already done this for practice. This is a hyper bloated damaged health monster. Thankfully, they all take place in an arena, so you're not having to chase them around the map, but these are the ultimate form of the monster. Most of the damage coming out of these monsters is more than likely going to one-shot you if you are a gunner or a prowler, and come very close to one-shotting you if you are using Blademaster armor. And even if it doesn't one-shot you, it can very easily just one-shot you with the stronger attacks, if that makes any sense. We're not going to be taking these on now. I have an idea for these maybe later that I want to try out for them. They'll always be there, of course, they don't just disappear, so that's nice. A couple of other things in G rank, just regular G rank, we have a couple of quests for a monster called Fatalis. We'll take them on later. They're not going to be as important now, though if you want to hunt Old Fatalis, you can get your best thunder weapon out of it. But we're going to hold off on that for now because we're not really starving for it. I believe Elatrion, though it might have already been unlocked too, but Elatrion is also now available. Another update, and you might notice, is that we have the Soul Seer Mizutsune weapon. It's called the Incarnating Greed, and it has 191 Boomerang Raw with 36 Boomerang Water Element. The reason we made this is because it is a blunt type weapon. It's also nice that it's deviant weapon, so we can actually get more gauge gain from our attacks. And this is somewhat generally considered to be the best water weapon, but I kind of flip-flop back and forth between this one and the Celestial Squall, just because having two different element types for one element is actually really nice on the monsters that don't take as much cutting damage or don't take as much blunt damage. And specifically here, the reason we had to go ahead and make it is since we were already doing deviants anyways, I didn't actually mind going after Soul Seer since we were already doing our deviant quests. And since Crystalbeard is very interesting, he has no weak spots with cutting weapons until you break his chin. The problem with that is that the chin cannot be broken with cutting weapons. You have to use a blunt weapon. I believe you can't even break it with bombs. You have to use a blunt damage type. It's the same as cutting tails with cutting weapons. You have to use that specific cutting type to actually get the tails off. That means that if we're getting any decent hit zones, we're going to want to break that, or at the very least have the option for breaking that. Though the arms are also a 45 weak spot specifically for blunt weapons. It's kind of weird how they did that. It is more multiplayer focused where the blunt users break the head so that the cutting weapons can actually go and deal a lot more damage to the head. I believe the blunt hit zone for the head is 50, while the cutting hit zone for the head, once it's broken of course, is 55. So it's going to be slightly better if you do have cutting type damage members in your party, if I'm making any sense here at all. But if you don't, it's best to just stick to blunt anyway. Since you're a cat, it doesn't really change anything. You get the slightly weaker Mega Boomerang, so that will be a bit of a bummer, but at the same time we are dealing more damage to it on average just because of the better hit zones all the way around. All right, we'll walk up here, go to Crystalbeard Uragon, and Crystalbeard Uragon G5 has us hunting a Raging Brachydios and a Crystalbeard Uragon in Ingle Isle. Go ahead and take it and head on out. All right, same as before, we'll just take on the entire hunt. Thankfully, this one actually should not be as bad as Red Helm G5. I was dreading this a lot as the levels up to this were not fun at all. The first two I used the Celestial Squall with, and it was very rough. I believe the second level, G2 of Crystalbeard took 40 minutes, hunting two of them. And I did think that there were only two Crystalbeard Uragon in this specific hunt, but that was actually level cross or level 10. Here it's just Raging Brachydios, which is great because Raging Brachydios is nowhere near as difficult as Uragon hit zone wise. He's a much more fun fight as well since he is more involved and he's not just rolling around where you can't really hit him. But another thing is that I did complete the quest and it only took about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, I believe, actually close to that. Wasn't quite 35 minutes, but that is much better than Crystalbeard, or not Crystalbeard, Red Helm. You can tell I have not commentated much today. It's much better than Red Helm was, and it felt so much more consistent. We just played it safe, and the Crystalbeard actually went down pretty nicely. I believe this Raging Brachydios has 8,800 health, and then the Crystalbeard has 15,000 something health. So you are not really dealing with Brachy too much. You will just kind of get him down to, I believe, 30% HP, and then Crystalbeard will appear. And then you'll just kind of have to deal with them until you take down Brachy, and then Crystalbeard will be in there for like 15 minutes, something like that. Raging Brachy here is a little bit different from regular Brachydios, if I can speak. I'm going to kind of stumble over my words here. Again, I haven't really taught. So how this monster works is, I believe he is just in general larger than regular Brachydios, but his hitboxes are still fairly fine-tuned. I say that as I get hit. The red slime on his body means that if you attack that point, and this is especially bad for Blade Master users, it will immediately explode afterwards. So we'll see whenever we hit it, it'll glow red and explode. It's not very difficult for ranged people because we literally do not care if something explodes close to the monster, since we're just throwing projectiles out. But if you are playing Blade Master, it is going to be a little more difficult. Thankfully, since we can't avoid it, we can just kind of pierce through and sometimes even just get all three, the two of the arms and the head all at once, which is nice. And the tail is very easy to actually hit with that. So we're just going to try to move him around him here. It is very similar to just regular Brachydios. The only thing you really have to worry about is that red slime. You know, he doesn't immediately start exploding his arms and stuff at the start of the fight. It still takes until he gets to rage mode before he does that. And his hitboxes are still just so clean. You know, just take it slow. He should be very fine. He'll just throw a couple of punches. Went into the air there. Here comes a tail sweep. He is also a bit slower, I noticed as well. And if you fought the world variation of Raging Brachydios, you know, same way there. He's just slower but more powerful. But I don't really feel that coming through here. I did actually get the Hellblade helmet off of one of our cats and put it on myself because we were fighting a fire monster in Oregon. So we grabbed that in the Grimclaw armor, and that's going to give us some nice fire resistance as well as some pretty high regular defense as well. He's going to jump there. We'll try to get this Mega Boomerang out. Little greedy there, but we actually didn't get hit. Again, this guy's hitboxes are very clean, or hitboxes are very clean. Actually pierced through the arms there. Very nice. I believe the head is a weak spot, and maybe the arms. I don't remember specifically how weak the arms are. Maybe 45 at most. And it is only for the blunt top. Again, just another reason to use your blunt top damage in this specific hunt, because you are just dealing more damage in general to Raging Brachydios as well. Couple of boomerangs there. We'll see what he does. He's just running towards us, throwing a punch. Remember, you can still be hit by the tail if you dodge through that punch, so be careful. Try to dodge kind of with it. Since we do have adapt dodges, we don't have to worry about being hit by the tail though. Here comes kind of the star formation. It is a little bit more prolonged and spreads out a little bit wider, but you know, since you're already playing safe enough at range anyways, you don't have to worry too much about it. He just threw a punch down there. Here comes this, so we're just going to back up pretty far and go ahead and apply our boomerang buffs. This little elevated platform that sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down, is going to constantly shift if you are fighting Raging Brachydios, because he just does some weird thing, I guess, where it, you know, constantly activates it. I believe it's just damage based, but Raging Brachydios just does a lot of damage to it, I guess. Normally monsters don't make it shift that often, but again, Raging Brachydios is more special. I believe the specific quest for Raging Brachydios actually has like 20,000 health. Back in my days of playing GU by myself with, like, you know, gathering cats and stuff like that, it took about 20 minutes to take care of them. But since he only has about 8,000 health here, 8,800, so close to 9,000, I guess. Anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes, or 10 to 15, I think. I'm very bad with ranging stuff today. 10 to 15 was what it took, and if Oregon didn't appear, it would be much easier. But that is why Raging Brachy has so much less health here, because you do have to deal with Oregon. And honestly, I was expecting this hunt to be much worse than it actually was, but it is actually not. He's going to run around there, reposition. He's actually throwing that punch at our cat. So we're just going to go ahead and detonate that slime there. He's going to throw this punch at us. See, he didn't even hit us with that. You know, you would expect that to explode immediately, but nope. It is a bit harder to tell when his stuff is going to explode. You have to now just look straight at his mouth, whether or not it is breathing out that smoke, steam. I don't really know what you want to call it there. It's just breathing really heavily, I guess. Go ahead and try to detonate this slime stuff here before he actually starts throwing punches at us. Can be a bit dangerous if he is, you know, throwing punches at you and you are fighting him pretty close, because those can hit you. They do have a decent hitbox size. We'll be hit by that punch there, but we're fine. We'll try to dodge to the left here. See what he does next. All right, he's just throwing that punch down. It's not going to explode immediately. We did that punch there too, so we'll go ahead and throw a couple of more boomerangs. We're having a hard time actually getting that. We've got Blast Blight here, so we'll just heal it off. You can dodge enough times, I believe 5 times for cats and lance if it is unsheathed, to actually get rid of Blast Blight. But we can also just Soothing Roll to get rid of it, which is very nice for us. All right, the red slime actually disappeared on its own, I think. Either that or our cat actually took care of it. Constantly in the fight, especially when he makes the big slime puddles with his horn, he will drop these little slime things there. I believe, in fact, we'll go for it here. They intend for you to kind of just do this in the middle of the fight. I didn't get it here, but we're perfectly fine. Again, his hitboxes are very clean. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Flashpoint Slime, and it is used for some of the Raging Brachydios equipment, which will be nice for you if you want to make it. It's not, I believe, as good as it was in World, though I believe it's still fine. It's a blast raw weapon. No, that's perfectly okay. Not going to be the best of the best in this game, but there's a lot of stuff you can work with in this game, so, you know, certainly not one of the worst either. All right, he's doing that spread attack. That did not hit us. I was worried it would, but again, hitboxes are very generous here. He's gonna throw that fist down. We'll throw a couple of boomerangs. Get used to your quick turns as well, as it will be a very nice monster that is very quick and easy to punish if you do get those quick turns down. All right, a couple more boomerangs here. Wait and see what he does. Just another punch. Go for a charge here. It's actually comboing, so we're fine. Tail didn't actually hit us with the hitbox there, which is surprising. He's doing his tail spin, so we'll just try to stay under it. Cats are actually small enough to occasionally not be hit by the tail sweeps, which is very interesting. Just the little quirk of the cats having a smaller hitbox than hunters. Throw boomerang out there. It's just going to do a big slime puddle, so we'll throw that out. Dodge to the right here. All right, he just missed that, so we'll go ahead and throw another one. And again, this is just a very fun fight, especially compared to Crystalbeard, which we'll get to in a minute. Got a little greedy there. I don't know why I pressed A and B at the same time, because it usually gives priority to the boomerang. He's going to roar here. We'll just dodge into it. He is enraged as well, so we'll try to just get rid of that. I believe it is actually called Flashpoint Slime. That's why it is called, the item is called that specifically, but we'll just try to get rid of it. He's going to throw a couple of launched blast strikes out. Don't really know what those are called. I've been playing stories too. I don't remember what they were called. All right, he's throwing a punch there. We're fine. Couple of boomerangs here. There we go. Finally got that other arm. All right, throw a boomerang out here. Again, this is just a very nice counter heavy fight. Throw a boomerang out, dodge whatever he sends at you. You can get some trips easily, because I don't believe his legs are too terrible hit zone wise. Of course, you'd rather be going for the arms and the head, but if you do want to go for a trip, don't, you know, be too bothered to go for those legs. Get a flinch there, which is nice. We'll throw a boomerang out. He's just throwing a punch there, missing. It is nice. This is generally considered to be an anti-melee monster, so since we are a ranged weapon, we don't really have too much trouble with it. A lot of his attacks are too short ranged, and the ones that do have fairly bit of range, or a fair bit of range on them, are very telegraphed, so we don't have to worry about it. We've already gotten 2 flinches, so that's pretty nice. We'll wait and see what he does here. All right, he's throwing a punch down. He actually chased us pretty nicely there. Good on him. All right, here comes another one. Counter. Need to apply our buffs again, so I'll try to actually just dodge this off, even though I have plenty of bar gauge for it. All right, he's doing a slime stomp there, so we'll go ahead, and since he is actually at range, we'll get this revved up and throw it at him. Hopefully he runs straight at us. He does not, but he does actually stand where we were when we threw that, so maybe it'll come back around. Nope, he backed away just in time. We'll wait for us to come at us, so we'll just dodge into it. Much more consistent than trying to wager on that hitbox not activating at the wrong time. All right, I'll take that punch there, honestly. We haven't lost an acorn yet, though we do want to save ourselves for the Uragon coming up. And it honestly wouldn't be a bad idea to just save our bar gauge for that either. Whenever you do, and like, this is a great point for us to actually throw stuff now. Whenever you are fighting these multi-monster quests where they do spawn in together, it's up to you if you want to go fully into DPS on the monster, the first monster. We get a KO there, very nice. Before the second one spawns in, or if you want to save it to be a little more defensive once the second one spawns in. It's definitely faster to go after this one first and just like throw all of your stuff into it like we did there. And as you can see, Uragon did spawn in, but I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can off. Uragon is very AoE, or Crystalbeard. I'm just calling him Uragon here, but you know what I mean. Crystalbeard is very AoE heavy, so we will have to play it down, or play it a little bit slower here. Now that he is in, we do have to pay attention to what he's doing. Has lots of high damage attacks since he is the deviant in the, so we do have to be careful about that too. Couple of boomerangs here at ranging Bracky. He is also exhausted, and that's another nice thing having the blunt weapon, is that we are now also dealing exhaust damage. I'm actually very surprised that hit me. I don't know what caused me to be hit by that, but oh well. Crystalbeard Uragon is an anomaly. He is a very weird monster. Other way, he's just gonna throw that jump out again. Just stay at range, honestly. Raging Bracky is faster in just a neutral state than Crystalbeard, so you can actually just draw Raging Bracky away, and until Uragon starts to roll like this, where sometimes he'll just stop very shortly or just kind of roll in a circle pattern where you don't really have to worry about him. You know, it's very nice, and you can kind of just keep leading Bracky away. This is one of the worst things that Crystalbeard can do. That rolling sleep gas is something he can actually combo together, not only into other attacks, but also into itself. So once he finishes the first one, he'll do it again. It's not great if you get roared out of it like we were there. Thankfully, or roared into it, I guess, because we were stunned by the roar and then he used it on us. Thankfully, we just kind of did not get punished by it though, so that's good. Wait here, get at range. This attack from Crystalbeard, if you can see, throws out 2 powder stones. They are very large, and they will have a very large hitbox explosion whenever Crystalbeard slams his chin after he finishes rolling. So just try to follow Crystalbeard's rolling. I'm sorry, I can't speak very well today. But whenever he does that, we'll get into more of Crystalbeard's moveset. Right now, we're just focusing on staying away from Crystalbeard while we fight Raging Brachydios. Should be very close to actually taking Raging down, so we should be fine. We'll just back up here to the punch. He's trying to follow up, but he can't really catch us very easily whenever we are rolling away. Apply our big boomerangs here. We'll wait. That's very nice. He unfortunately get hit by that again. Thankfully, I didn't notice it though, so it's not like it came out of nowhere. Go ahead and do a soothing roll here, because we are in a very sketchy spot, and this is where the deviant status on the weapon actually comes in handy, because we're actually having a fairly decent bit of bar gauge. I cannot speak, I'm sorry, to actually take out or use our soothing rolls. We're gonna try to slow down our speeds a little bit, and maybe we'll play a little better here. We were not hit by the sleep gas there, thankfully, so that's great. Couple of boomerangs here. He's gonna do his little star formation thing. We're gonna risk this, because if we can get it off, that would be absolutely great. He's distracted by our palicos there, so hopefully we get a flinch. That's nice. Couple of boomerangs here. We'll actually do a spin to reposition away. Yeah, Uragon did the massive roll slam, so we're fine. He did a slime stomp. We'll just keep an eye on Uragon. I don't believe those can reach us yet. I was afraid that was exploding, but it's not. Again, very generous monster compared to Crystalbeard AoE wise. All right, couple of boomerangs there. He's actually going to go into rage mode, so we'll just wait it out after throwing a boomerang. It is a brute wyvern, so unlike in World, the brute wyvern roars do not come out very fast. World kind of homogenized the roar animations, unless it's, you know, certain special monsters. I do believe Bracky is actually a special monster in World that has slightly longer roar animation than the other brutes. But, you know, Lavinus, Baroth, they usually have very fast roar animations, and it is a weird interaction with the clutch claw whenever they do roar that quickly. Everybody's throwing a punch out. Ooh, I could have actually punished him there. Unfortunately, we did just throw out a swipe. All right, he's punching. Crystalbeard is in between us. I don't mind dealing damage to him. Bracky actually repositioned to a better spot though, so we can actually clearly hit him instead. Crystalbeard is doing this. Always wait for the chin slam on Crystalbeard whenever you try to dodge his roll, because it's just going to work better that way for you. And make sure you won't be hit by any powder stones or anything like that. Couple of boomerangs there. We'll back up. Boomerang out. Actually have our support gauge reduced, so we don't have a lot of bar. Just kind of back up here, throw a couple of boomerangs. So repositioning with the punch, I think we'll be fine. We went into rage mode, so we're fine to just wait this out. In fact, that didn't even reach us. I'm very surprised. Okay, he's gonna do a flying slam or jump slam. trying to combine those two words into one. I'm honestly fine with that, and there we go. Raging Brachydios is down, only 15 minutes. Again, much better than having to fight a Furious Rajang and Redhelm together, because Redhelm takes no damage at all, and while Furious Rajang does take quite a bit of damage, he's a very fast and hard to hit monster, unlike Raging Brachydios. Alright, now that we're on Crystalbeard, I'll go ahead and try to call out some of his attacks and show how I dodge them. It's just a reposition here. Whenever he walks towards you, you can be flinched. Not out of some stuff like Mega Boomerang, but it will damage you at the very least by his chin. It's a very strong chin. That's just the Powder Stone toss with his tail. I believe it's called Tail Bomber in story, so I guess that's what we'll try to call it here. Here's a couple of chin slams. He does it twice in a row, usually, and it does cause tremors, so be careful on that. Can be very annoying, so try to dodge the first one and just reposition out of the way. You want to take this fight slow. That's what Aragon is trying to do, so you want to counter him with his own playstyle. Get at range, try to do the best you can. If it's looking like he's going to roll, identify what type of roll it's going to be. They do have tails. This is the one with the two big powder stones. So how we dodge this is we actually move with him and wait till the chin slam. That means we don't have to worry about being hit by the powder stone explosions and only have to dodge the chin slam tremor hitbox. Couple of boomerangs at him there. You can again break the chin for a good hit zone, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. This was a little greedy on my part. We'll just wait him out. Okay, he went pretty far away, so we'll go ahead and just heal. I'm not really going to do too much, but that's fine. I actually do have Go Fight one, and we might want to use that at some point. That is the sleep spin, or sleep roll. You can tell that because of the blue gas. Very weird move. There's a hard line where the sleep gas does end. So once you get used to it, you can consistently thread the needle. I don't recommend that because sleep is terrible in this game. The only way to avoid it if you do get hit by it is using negate sleep. You cannot soothing roll out of it. You can't do anything, and you are susceptible to a hit by the monster. And since this monster can deal quite a bit of damage with his chin slams and stuff, it's best to just make sure you are far away from the sleep roll whenever he does it. He does also have just a standard sleep gas attack, but that one's fairly easy to notice when he does do it, and he hardly ever actually does it anymore at this level. He did it earlier on. That was just a regular chin slam roll. It's not difficult to dodge at all. Just make sure you're dodging the tremor hitbox on it. You can tell what the tremor hitbox is because it kind of explodes out in dirt and wind. There it is again. You can just kind of see it there. We'll go for the legs here. You can get a decent amount of tremors, or not tremors, but topples on him. That's that double chin slam, or the quadruple chin slam. He does it in sets of two sets of two. All right, be careful here. Here comes the big chin slam. We're going to get at range here. It has a very massive radius. You can weaken the radius after breaking his chin, but until that happens, just try to dodge it because you don't want to be stuck in tremor either, and it's a great chance to actually get some counter boomerangs off. You can also carve Raging Brachy there if you want. I don't really need to because you get some rewards from it at the end of the quest, but Raging Brachy doesn't have a terribly great weapon for us, and if we wanted to get the Raging Brachy weapon, we would just fight him regularly. Did a tail bomber there into just regular chin slams. Chin slams are similar to Teostra and his kind of explosion thing, his bite, his explosion bite that explodes his little dust powder things. We have not fought Teostra yet. I actually have on this save, but I have not actually shown it off. I just kind of wanted to fight him at some point and see how that would go. Took about 15 minutes, I think, but we'll take care of that later when our script tells us to, even though I don't have a script. Other way, he's going to go into rage mode, throw a couple of chin slams out, get a couple of counter boomerangs off. Comes another tail bomber, just throwing those out. You can mine the crystal looking powder stones that are called treasure nuggets, and I believe they sell for a lot, but we are not starving for money whatsoever since we don't make much equipment at all, and we don't have to upgrade anything because they don't let us, so I'm not really starving for money there. Just a little bot there, similar to Glavinish, just slower because it's an Aragon. Wait and see what he does. I think he's going to roll. He is. Just a regular roll, looks like. Never mind. Do not stay near him when he starts a roll. No matter what roll it is, even if he doesn't expel them, those powder stones explode on contact with the ground. Try to dodge the sleep gas here. We can dodge that with adept, thankfully. I don't think he actually does a chin slam with it, so you can't really dodge that. So just try to stay away from it. Do a dodge whenever he does land, even if you are out of the range of it. That way you don't get slept, because being slept is very bad. But whenever he does start a roll and expels powder stones, they explode immediately. It's not like one where they kind of come out like here. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's when he's enraged, but I've been caught off guard by those quite a bit. It's not fun. It is not fun to just be hit by very wide range AoE powder stones whenever he starts to roll. You know, you're thinking, oh, well, I'll just go behind him when he rolls. Well, that's kind of his counter to that. This is the standing still sleep move. Again, very easily telegraphed. You can get out of it pretty nicely, and it's a great chance for us to use a mega boomerang. A couple of boomerangs there. We get a exhaustion flinch, or an exhaustion flinch. Comes a tail bomber. Dodge with it, or into it at the very least, and we'll go for the arms. I don't really mind dealing damage to the face, because once we do get the break, it is a very nice hit zone, like I said before. So we won't really try to avoid going for the head, because once we do get over that hurdle, we're going to be dealing a lot of damage to it. All right, here comes a roll. This is just a standard one, and it's interesting. You do kind of want to circle with them, and especially since Prowlers are so weird with their adept dodges, you kind of go into a roll like he does. Here comes this big one. And you can see here when he does his little chin slam, it detonates all of them. So again, just something to be wary of. If you think he's fixing the chin slam, stay away from a powder stone. So this is how you really want to take on these circle spinning rolls. Whenever he does it on a circle on the map, you just kind of want to go counter to him. Easier to do whenever you do get an adept dodge, since you are faster, but you can still do it just while running with your weapon out. We are on rage, so that's nice. We'll be doing 15% more affinity per hit. Right here, just doing the spin. Actually out of range of it there. In general, the powder stones do kind of go in a circle around the circuit that he does. Whenever he does that weird spin there. And we do just kind of want to stay to his side whenever he starts to do that. As long as he's not coming straight at us, we are safe to just kind of walk to his side. You can see the little powder coming off of him there. That's red. You will know that is the double massive powder stones. And even though some of the powder stones are a little bit larger, it really doesn't particularly matter. Maybe in the damage that they do. But half the time, the powder stone hitboxes are just like the same size. They just look a little bit different. It is absurdly large how big those small ones can explode. Here comes this again. We'll just wait for the chin slam, dodge it. You might be able to actually use your guard strike to go up into the air and avoid it. In fact, that might be a neat little tech you can do, similar to the roar tech with your guard strike. But we're not going to worry about that here. We can just easily dodge it. We don't have to worry about anything. All right, we'll see what he does next. A couple of boomerangs here. All right, big chin slam. We'll get back here. It's going to be better to stay near the edge of his tail. That is the closest I believe you can be to him. Of course, we can just also fight him at range here, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you are a blade master, that is a little tip there. He's going to do another tail bomber, so I do believe we have enough time for a mega boomerang. He's doing the detonating strike. We're perfectly fine to just stay at range there. Another tail bomber. Into probably another detonating strike. Maybe, nope, not yet. Those will explode in due time on their own, but if he does do a chin slam, they will also explode. All right, we'll wait here. Yeah, there you go. Neat little similarity. He does have 2 Teostra there. Couple of boomerangs at the face. Here comes the roll. No slam though, so we'll just walk with him. Do be careful of those powder stones. If he does roll over one, it will explode. And that will not be good. And I don't know if the powder stones are smart and explode when you get near them whenever he releases them. Or if it is just an on-contact thing and they have a weird touching hitbox or they consider to be on contact. I do not know, but I know sometimes they do explode immediately once he starts rolling. It's a very nice chance for us to get a mega boomerang out. At some point we will maybe get a KO. I've not really been focusing on the face as much. So we might not actually see a KO on Aragon here. All right, we'll wait. Okay, see, there is the on-contact explosion with it, but it is actually on contact, I guess. It's not specifically just exploding with the ground. All right, we'll just soothing roll here. And again, once you get enough of bar gauge, you can kind of just do soothing rolls sparingly, and you're perfectly fine to do that. Wait and see what he does. He's just walking forward, so a couple of boomerangs there. Since he is in a good neutral position, we'll just kind of throw boomerangs out. We're really just focusing on dealing more element damage. I believe he has also a unique weakness to poison as well, being very strong on him, but we have to choose either between water or poison, and we'd rather have the more consistency of water than poison. Here comes the roar. I think it's safe to throw one of these here. A couple of chin slams after his roar. He'll always do that, so be careful with that. Actually get a knockdown there, surprisingly. It is not a KO knockdown. He was fixing to do the powder roll, the double powder stone roll, but he didn't actually get to do that. Still haven't broken the chin yet. It is a very beefy chin. You're not going to break it very quickly with Prowler. Maybe if you used hammer. All right, we'll wait. Go ahead and apply our big boomerangs there. He finished the roll pretty far away, so we'll just kind of wait for him to come towards us. He's doing a short range attack. Yeah, it's kind of long, mid-range, long range, but not long enough to reach us. Go back to attacking. Wait and see what he does here. All right, here comes the roll. He avoided us, so that means he's going to come back around and try to hit us on the second lap. He does not, though, since we moved with him. Couple of boomerangs here, trying to hit that head. I should have charged. Out of the way, move with him. You should be safe. Even like, you know, you saw me doing there, walking without, you know, running or sprinting with my weapon out. To actually just move with him and not take damage from the roll. You know, just try to move away from the roll. I do believe he targets you with it, though. You get the feel for it once you fought him enough. All right, couple of chin slams there. Couple of boomerangs here for us. At some point, we might get a knockdown. Not really too worried about it, though. Again, we're just taking this leisurely and slow. We're not getting right up and close and personal like, you know, we would with a Glavenus or something. All right, we have this. We actually get a flinch and flinch him out of it, and he is exhausted now. So we're going to go ahead and throw one of these out. Maybe get a head break. Not quite. I'm sure we're getting closer, though. I do believe the chin takes decent water damage. And he can't really expel sleep gas here because he is exhausted. So it's great for us to keep attacking. I don't even know if the puffs that he does let out actually do apply sleep if you're close enough. Similar to Rathian's mouth, like giving you fire element if you are hit by it at point blank range. But that's fine. We'll keep going through the face here. Again, just really trying to peel the chin off while he is downed. It's going to be easier to hit the chin that way, even if you are sacrificing, you know, good damage on the arms. Because that is where you'll be dealing 45 hit zone damage. You can see there the chin actually, you know, flinching us and toppling us over whenever he's just walking towards us. All right, let's see what he does here. Just a regular slam there. He is exhausted, so he's moving slower. He's now enraged, so he will no longer be doing that. All right, we'll see what he does next here. Just a tail bomber, so we'll go ahead and apply our big boomerangs. You can also detonate those yourself with your boomerangs, which is a very nice thing. It's similar to Soulseer actually being able to detonate its bubbles at range with your boomerangs. It's a very nice thing to actually have some free projectiles that you don't have to spend anything on like gunners do. All right, here comes a tail bomber. I'm actually not going to use that. I was going to use a mega boomerang since they were only at 1 bar gauge, but now they are back up to 2. Here comes the powder stones. We'll just wait for them to come out. There's the chin sever. So now that it's off, we'll be dealing 50 hit zone damage on the face there. Very nice, especially for mega boomerangs. Just wait here. Kind of move around. He is exploding a lot of those powder stones, so I didn't want to get ready to attack just in case one of those did explode near us. Couple of boomerangs there. We'll go for a charge. Here comes the chin slam. He's just gonna growl at us, so we'll actually be able to counter with another one. Here comes this attack. Again, just dodge away from it and use your not soothing roll. If you use soothing roll, use that to get away too. But if you just use an adept dodge, use that to get away. All right, couple of chin slams. We'll wait for the second one there to dodge. Usually that first one won't hit you if you're on his right. If you're on his or left, yeah, his right, your left. It's weird trying to talk about directional orientation here. All right, here comes the chin slam. Notice how much smaller it is because the chin has been severed. Gives you a lot more leeway to actually do stuff like this. He's doing it again. Perfect chance for us to get one of these out. Pierce it down his body to get as much damage as we can. Do that little roar into the chin slam. So we'll actually go to his left there and just kind of pummel him to his right or left. Here comes the sleep gas. Couple of boomerangs at the face. Actually 4 boomerangs. That'll be nice. Throw a 5th one out. Wait for him. See what he's going to do. Another chin slam. Get at range. Go ahead and throw another mega boomerang out. Since we're not having to allocate as much time to actually getting out of the range of that, we can actually just throw a mega boomerang. Though if you do get an adept dodge, you're probably pretty safe to just throw another mega boomerang out right out of your adept dodge, since he can't really do much out of the big chin slam. Okay, that was a bit greedy, but the hitbox was very nice there and clean, not hitting us. All right, Tail Bomber. It's getting to be a little bit too much of a minefield here, so I did Soothing Roll just to play it safe. Tail Bomber will dodge to the left. Couple of boomerangs. You're not dealing much damage on the tail, as you can hear the bouncing sound effect, but it's still taking some water damage, so that's why I'm not really too particular about hitting it. Again, we're just playing this slow. Uragon's not taking much damage anyways, so we just want to, you know, be careful, make sure we are chipping away on that massive health pool and not trying to go for gold for not much in return. All right, couple of boomerangs at the face, one on the arm, one at the face at the very least. Another Tail Bomber, couple more boomerangs, 1, 2, one more boomerang, dodge to the left, see what he's gonna do next. All right, this is the Powder Stone roll. Actually, okay, not quite at the safe distance. Unfortunately, did waste the Mega Boomerang there. Should have just tested to see. Didn't know how much he was going to actually track me there. Did a hip check. Hip check is not scary. It's very slow, very telegraphed. Boomerang out. He's going to do a big chin slam. I think we're at range here, so we can just attack the face. Get a nice flinch. We'll actually close the gap with our X attack, or our lunge. He's going to roar into the chin slams. A couple of boomerangs at the face. There's a bite. Actually get an exhaustion flinch. I don't know why I sheathed my weapon there. I was just mashing. All right, here comes this. Just back away. Nice and safely. Go for the face. And that might actually release a third Powder Stone right where he starts to spin. I can't tell though. All right. Just a weird little chin jab, I guess, detonating those Powder Stones. Throw one boomerang out. Wait for him to do the Tail Bomber attack. Another boomerang. He'll detonate those with a strike. We did get our support gauge reduced. At some point he's gonna go down here because it took about 35 minutes last time, like I said before. So we're getting pretty close. Well, I wasn't as aggressive on rangy Brecky as I was in the test run. I still think we're doing okay. Did just completely miss that one though. That's a little unfortunate. All right, couple of boomerangs there. Boomerang at the face. Dodge into this. Sometimes it is safer to dodge into the roll. Sometimes it isn't. You'll have to get a feel for that. All right, Tail Bomber. You might want to just dodge into the Tail Bomber too if you're close enough. All right, I think we'll be greedy with this. Now we can just always go for the face with the Mega Boomerang and not have to worry about sacrificing damage, because that is now the best spot for damage. Go for that face. Got our support gauge reduced again. Since we're this close, I will just dodge into him. Throw a couple of boomerangs out. I don't know why I did Soothing Roll there. I am getting a little antsy for some reason, even though we were doing just fine on not only time, but also acorns. He says as he gets hit by a Tremor. Okay, here we go. Oh, never mind. He's just going to get knocked into rage mode, so we won't actually get to see the sketchier version of that attack where he's right next to you. He's going to try it again, but I actually got away. And now we are safe. I believe he actually has a natural resistance to barrel bombs as well, which is interesting. So if you are using a Bomber Cat, while it is fine because, you know, you're not having to deal with the terrible hit zones, he still just has that resistance, making him a very hearty and tanky monster, which is very annoying with a moveset that isn't the easiest to attack. Thankfully, cats actually have an easier time when it's this wide open arena. If you're fighting him in the volcanic hollow, not fun. He starts in that weird webbed area where you'll fight like Gypceros and for ultimate, like that's where the cutscene takes place. I believe it's a weird reference, but that's what I'm thinking of immediately. It is in the sunken hollow that you actually fight Gypceros, but same place, just in the volcanic version. And then the other parts of the map are, if they're not crowded and hard to move around on, there's a bunch of ledges or slopes, and that is not fun when fighting Uragon. It goes 10 times easier when you're fighting on the Gen 2 volcano because it's just flat ground, or Ingle Isle, which is just flat ground. There are a couple of ledges if the monsters force the ledge up. I believe there's one down there. There's one right here. They're not the best ledges in the world, but they're small enough to where they don't hinder you too much, and you can use them for mounting if you absolutely have to. Though, in this game, you can just use aerial style if you absolutely want to go for mounts. They are still nice if you don't have aerial style. Get another flinch, which is nice. We're now at the 35-minute mark, so I'm knowing this is just fixing to end. Nice dodge there on that. Couple of boomerangs here. It's gonna roar, actually. Should not have done the boomerang spin, but it's fine. We were not actually in range of being hit by that. All right, a couple of boomerangs out here. Just do it from behind. And you can carve the chin, as you can see by the exclamation point there. If you absolutely want to, we will probably do that once we finish Uragon off here. Here comes the roll. All right, very nice. Couple of boomerangs here. See what he does next. He's just going to roll forward. Actually dodge into that, away from him, but still into him. Giving him enough time to hit us while we were in our iframes. Okay, I'm aiming in the wrong direction here, and we still got trimmered by that. Here comes the sleep roll. Just dodged with him. Honestly, very odd that we didn't even adept dodge that. Very interesting. All right, here's the sketchier version of the attack. Always just wait for his chin slam. If you are close enough to his chin, you should just dodge the trimmer hitbox, and that should leave you perfectly in the clear to dodge the detonating strike on those powder stones there. Those powder stones do a lot of damage, so you do want to dodge them. Again, I apologize for the weird stuttering. It has been a very long day at work, so I am right at the end. All right, we're good. Dodge those chin slams. Throw another boomerang out. 2. And he's exhausted. That's nice. We'll go ahead and throw this mega boomerang. But since this isn't as much of a struggle as Red Helm, I actually don't mind talking throughout the whole thing. And there we go. Crystalbeard Uragon is down. Again, so much easier. So much easier. And I was thinking this was going to be much worse because it would have been two Crystalbeards. No, it's not. Just one Crystalbeard and a Raging Brachydios. Like, Raging Brachydios is such a breath of fresh air compared to Crystalbeard. And since it is just a massive wide open plain with a couple of hiccups in between, it's nowhere near as bad as fighting him in the Volcanic Hollow. So yeah, I mean, this is not anywhere near as difficult. It doesn't take as much time. Actually pretty close, about 10 minutes off maybe. And I did it faster before, so I can probably do it even faster if I was really focusing on getting mega boomerangs out and stuff. But yeah, either way, I've carved him up, and I'll meet you back at base. All right, immediately we get back to base. I do want to mention something that I neglected to actually mention last time. So to unlock Red Helm G rank, you will have to do, I believe, the G1 quest called Fangs for the Bath, has you hunting 2 Arzuros on the Ruined Pinnacle. If there were a quest for a single Arzuros, you will be doing that one, but there is not. It's just the dual one, but it does not take long at all. It's just 2 regular Arzuros. As for Crystalbeard Uragon G rank, I believe the quest is for Uragon Grief. I don't know quite why this is a burner request, and I don't remember where specifically you get it from. You might want to look that up because I have no idea why I had it. I just did have it. I did just go through the villages and just start grabbing a bunch of requests while I was looking for Hyper Legiacris in G4. So that did kind of happen. A couple of other quests to get the other G rank deviants. You're going to get a lot of them just by doing the regular key quests, but I believe one of them is Naked Aggression, has you hunting a Shogun Cianatar on the Ruined Pinnacle, the Owled Man, and the Sea. These 2 give you your 2 new deviants that aren't the Fated 4 and Bloodbath Diablos, giving you Nightcloak Malfestio and Rust Razor Cianatar. I'm trying to filter out their Japanese names for the deviants. I believe the rest of the deviant G rank quests you can just do by doing the regular, hunt for them, like Tetsukabra here and probably Rathian too, if we didn't do a Rathian quest already, but I believe we did. I'm not 100% sure on those, so don't worry too much about that. We'll cover them in due time. Of course, you can just look them up as well. Other way, let's get on to the equipment. Okay, so Crystalbeard Uragon, I've said this before and I have alluded to it as well. It is the best bomb weapon for pure bombing builds and stuff like that. The massive, gargantuan, titanic 295 melee attack. How bomb damage works is it takes either your highest stat in boomerang or melee. So if you have a higher raw, for some reason, boomerang weapon, or it's just naturally higher raw, because I do believe the bombing cats have a higher range stat than melee. It will be using the boomerang stat instead, but if you're using this weapon, it's automatically going to be the melee attack because it is just absolutely massive. It has negative affinity, I believe. We have both of our buffs up, so negative 10% affinity. Yes. So that's up to you. I don't think you're using this at all for any reason whatsoever for actual damage. It has 12 sleep element. That is negligible. It's also both on boomerang and melee. It's negligible. You only have yellow sharpness, but you have that plus 60 defense, which is a nice little perk for the bombing builds. As for the armor, it is just 162 with special resistances, so make it if you want. You're not really starving for armors that have fire resistance. You've got Hellblade here with the maximum at 6. Not technically the maximum, but you know what I mean. It has the maximum 8 of dragon resist, actually. Probably the Dread King armor, once we get that, is going to have 8 in fire resistance, so it'll have the 166 defense too on the head, which will just be better than Crystalbeard in every way. And it will probably honestly be easier than Crystalbeard just because he has okay hit zones once you break the head. It's not anywhere near as bad as Crystalbeard. Either way, after rambling for a bit, I'm sorry, this did just kind of turn into a rambling at the end here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a comment below and maybe even consider subscribing. Until next time, bye.